season to be healthy. Hey, 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 hey. Story time, story time, story time. So, again, 'tis the season to be healthy. I took my health into my hands this week. I made a doctor's appointment. I called. I said I'm going to be there. Actually, no. I didn't have an appointment. I just showed up, y'all. I showed up on the fly. The doctor's office opens at 9 o'clock. Child, I was there at 9:01. Girl, I was turning on the lights, pushing chairs around. I said, hey, girl, hey, how you doing? She was like, hey, how are you? I was like, great. I said, hey, can I see a doctor? She was like, oh, so you have an appointment? I was like, nope. She was like, oh, so sure, I can get you an appointment. I was like, for today, though. Today. Can I see a doctor today? She was like, oh, but you don't have an appointment. I was like, I don't. But if anyone cancels, can you just make a little waiting list for me and just call me on the hip and I'll be right down here. She was like, yeah, let me see the doctors that you had before in the past. I said, cool. So she read them off and she was like, oh, none of these doctors are here at this location. They're at the location in Times Square. I said, huh? Oh, okay. So, will they be coming in today at this location? She was like, no, they're no longer here. She said, but they're still a part of the practice. If you'd like to, I was like, no. I need an appointment here because it's closer to my job. I have a lot of clients. I had heads back to back to back. She was like, oh, okay. I'll see what I'll do. I'll put you on the waiting list. I said, all right, just call and I'll be right there. She said, all right, cool. That was 9 o'clock. 12 o'clock comes. The phone rings. I said, hey, how are you? She's like, oh, we have an appointment for you at 1:05. I said, 1:05. All right, cool. We're good. So, but now it's 12:15 and I have a Pilates mat class, room packed, rammed. Hung up the phone. I turned around to my room. I said, hey guys, everybody down on the mat. Let's go. So I get through the class. I get out the class at like 1:01. I'm down the block. Boom, jetting. Still feeling myself, still feeling confident, riding this wave of adulthood. I get to the doctor's office. Cool. So she's like, hey, what would you like to get done today? I said, do you have a box that says the deluxe? Everything. I need everything. Just check it off. Everything. I'm just ready. She was like, oh, okay, cool. I said, cool. Let's go. So she said, well, first things first. Let's take a urine sample. I said, all right, cool. Let's take a urine sample. She's like, here's your cup. Bathroom is over there to the left. Let's go. All right, fine. So I go to the bathroom. And again, I'm still riding my wave of confidence. So I'm getting ready to provide the specimen in the cup. I don't even know what happened, but the cup fell in the toilet. I was like, what the? Jesus. All right. Take the cup, take a little tissue, wipe it dry. I said, all right, let's try this again. So I give the specimen. It's complete. I feel so proud. I see this little cabinet. I open the cabinet and I put my cup, and lo and behold, there's another cup in the little cabinet. I said, oh, well, somebody else was in here. Okay, cool. So, all right, I see that their specimen is just a little less than what I gave. Meaning like what I gave looked like the equivalent of what a barista would give you at Starbucks for like some chamomile tea. I was like, huh, okay. So I think I overshared just a little bit, but never you mind. It's done. Close the cabinet, go back to the waiting room. So one of the phlebotomists calls my name. I don't know what she was saying, but they always jack up my name. Faluke. Y'all, my name is Faluke, but cool. I'm used to it. Moving on. So we get into the room and she's like, the doctor will be here in a few minutes. I said, all right, cool. Sat down, I'm waiting. And you know, in those rooms, those examination rooms, it's always cold, you know? And I'm like, oh, but 'tis the season to be healthy. So I sit, she comes, she's like, all right, so we're going to examine you today. You said you wanted everything. I said, yep, check it all off. Let's go. She said, okay, here's the bag with the gown in it. Take everything off and leave the gown open from the front. I said, all right, cool. So she closes the door and I'm like in this confident mode. As soon as the door closed, I'm like, oh, it's a new person. Like, now I know she said that none of my doctors are at that location, but ladies and gentlemen, especially ladies, you know, when you're accustomed to your doctor, when they have to examine you, it's kind of like, you've already developed a relationship, you know? So you don't really want to develop a new relationship when it comes to examining you. So I said, all right, dust it off. You're a modern gal. Let's get this done. So she comes back in and I remember her saying, leave the gown open from the front. Not I. I take all the strings and I tie like little Chanel bows all the way down to my thighs. And she's like, hey. And I was like, hey girl, hey. So she was like, okay, well, I did say leave the gown open, but that's cool, that's fine. So, and again, I didn't even know what came over me, you guys, because I thought, nothing shakes me. I'm a modern gal, I'm good, I'm contemporary. But all of a sudden, I became this kind of like provincial, kind of close to the chest. I was like, what's happening? What's going on? Relax, breathe. So then she goes, okay, well, hop up on the table. And you know that table, right? That table with the little cookie sheet, that little sad cookie sheet, that every time you sit on it, it sounds like you like sitting on plastic bags or like, I don't even know, like you just sliding around this little noisy blanket. It's just, ugh. So I sit down. She's like, okay, slide down. So I slide down. She's like, now relax your legs. So she's like, relax your legs. Y'all, again, this is a new person. So my legs go from, she's like, relax. She's like, relax. I was like, so she was like, okay. So she understood my apprehension, but I couldn't understand my apprehension because I knew what I was doing from the outside, but on the inside, I was like, yo, what is going on? So we get through that examination, that portion of the examination, and she was like, all right, so put your clothes back on. Cool. She goes to her microscope. I sit down, I put my clothes on, she comes back in, we start to talk. So she's doing these questionnaires, and she, again, I don't know what was going on, but she's going through the questionnaire and she's asking me, she was like, okay, so like your sexual partners, what gender were they? And I was like, what? She was like, your sexual partners, what gender were they? And I was like, male. And she was like, oh. I said, well, times have changed. And she just looked at me and I was like, I'm sorry. I thought out loud. I was thinking out loud. But y'all, times have definitely changed because even when I went to go give my blood, unless I said, yes, you can touch me, my phlebotomist wouldn't even touch me. She would like, oh, can I touch your arm? Can I lift up your sleeve? Like, it's a different culture right now with everything being so, I don't know. I guess we're just becoming more sensitive to each other's needs or requests, and the language is there and available. And I'm sitting there like, wow, this is different. Anywho, so I get through that, and then she's going through like lists and talking about like history and all this other stuff, and I was just like, oh my gosh. But my confidence starts to wane, and the little 'tis the season jingle bell in my head starts to go off, and I was just like, what's going on? I'm freaking out. And I'm like, okay, just breathe. I finish it off. Now we have to go take blood. And no one's running to go take blood, just like no one is like, yes, let's go to the dentist. Like, no one's doing that. So I said, all right, cool, we're gonna take blood because it's necessary. And again, my urine already looked like chamomile tea, so obviously I'm dehydrated. Yes, you guys, if you have a dark yellow urine, you are dehydrated. If it's get darker than yellow, then you're probably sick. So just make sure that you're drinking your optimal amount of water so that your urine is clear in color. Light yellow to clear. Mine was not. So, but I'm okay. I knew what it was. So now it's time to give blood. So this is another reason why you need to hydrate. So the phlebotomist comes in, the first one comes in, and she's like, okay, lift your arm. So I lift my arm, and she's like, pump your fingers, and I'm pumping my fingers, and then she's like, squeeze your fist, and she puts this little rubber band on, and she's like tapping, and she could find a vein, and she finds a vein, and she's like, all right, and she puts the needle in. Yo, my vein must have known that needle was coming, because the needle came in my vein, was like, psych. And then she said, okay, let's get to the other arm, because no blood came out, so she pulled it out. So I'm there with my little cotton, and she puts a Band-Aid. She goes the other way. She's like, all right, pump your fist, pump your fingertips, and then squeeze. And then she puts another rubber band, and then she puts another needle in. And then my vein was like, what? Psych. Like, my veins kept rolling. And it's not that so much that they were rolling. I was just dehydrated. Like, it just was a trip trying to get my blood. So she was like, let me call in my colleague. Second phlebotomist comes in. She's like, okay, relax your arm, pump your fist, squeeze, goes in. Vein was like, psych. I was like, oh, nah. Because now I have to get stuck for a third time. So she was like, okay, let me see your right arm. I was like, all right, pump your fist, squeeze, hurled it. Then the vein wanted to say psych, but she like wiggled it around and it looked so scary under my skin. And then just like a silly straw, the blood starts coming out. She puts it in the vials, my name, my birthday's on it. Cool. It's done. I have my 2 little Band-Aids. I'm out. And I still had this like overwhelming sense of like lightness, because it was just kind of like, whew, thank God this is over. Because, I came in all happy and sprightly, and I was like, yes, look at me, I'm an adult. And by the end of it, I was like, oh gosh, this is like, especially because it was a new doctor. I just thought like in my spirit and my soul that I would be a little bit more receptive to all of the different procedures. And child, I just wasn't. But again, 'tis the season to be healthy. Make sure that 1, you set up your appointment ahead of schedule. And 2, make sure that you see the doctor if he or she is still in practice. That might be in your neighborhood. So plan carefully your day so you don't feel rushed and you don't feel like, oh my gosh, if I don't get it done today. Plan your week thoughtfully, right? And 3, just be super honest with your doctor. If you feel anxious or you feel nervous, just reveal that. I didn't reveal it because I was like, son, I'm a thug. I ain't revealing nothing. We gonna just thug this out. Just gonna thug this out. But feel open to have that clinician-client relationship and just be like, hey, I'm feeling a little bit nervous. Cause y'all, okay, so you remember I said the gown had to be open, right? So, she's doing my breast test, and she's making sure like, everything is good, the tissue is there. And then she's like feeling my nodes under my armpits, and my armpits were a little sweaty. So I had to tell her, I was like, girl, I'm so sorry. It's just that I'm nervous, so my armpits are sweating a bit. And she was like, no, child, you're fine. She was like, no, you're fine. I've touched very different, and I've smelled a lot of things in my time. And I was like, okay. But still, whether it be this weekend, before the holidays, the New Year's, before the New Year's, after all the festivities have happened, make sure you go to your doctor, whether it be your dentist, your eye doctor, your GYN ladies, your GP gentlemen, get your prostates checked, gentlemen, and just try to be as healthy as you possibly can be. We can do a lot of things for you in fitness, but you are the owner of your body, and you only have one life, one vehicle. Okay. I hope this story time helps. Story time. Again, 'tis the season to be healthy. Bye.